Steve, I couldn't help, as I was spying on you, as I so often do, see that you were playing around in Montana, where we've got sort of some interesting races there, as we're also looking ahead in the next 13 minutes to California.
Yeah, I mean, in Montana, actually, we didn't think we'd get a ton of vote coming into the night. It's gone faster than we thought. More than half the vote here in the 1st Congressional District of Montana. Why is this one significant? Because this is sort of a fringe Democratic target in November. Ryan Zinke, the Republican congressman not running for re-election. Trump had won this by 11 points in 2024. Been a long time since Democrats elected a candidate for federal office in Montana. But their thought is that, look, if the climate is that bad for Republicans, a big if here, but if it is, could that district like this come into play? An interesting contrast of candidates here. Ryan Busse versus Sam Forstag. Forstag, an insurgent, running from the left with the backing of AOC, of Bernie Sanders. And what had just happened a few minutes ago was he got a big number out of the biggest county in the district, Missoula County. It pulled him very close to Busse, but Busse just got some favorable returns from elsewhere, is back in the lead by 1,400 votes. Now, the winner of this, whoever that ends up being, is going to run against. We've now projected this is Donald Trump's backed candidate here, Aaron Flint. So the president, as is sort of his custom in these Republican primaries, is getting his way here. But this Democratic primary is interesting, and it's sort of a tale of very different sort of theories of the game between Busse and Forstag about how to win a district.
But
like
isn't this interesting? I mean, I think this is one of these districts where Democrats are hoping it could be a fringe battleground, right? Like if there is some kind of a blue wave that maybe this is competitive here, because Ryan Zinke underperformed here compared to President Trump, right?
Yeah, and I mean, look, there's two different theories of the case here, though. I mean, this is the interesting thing to me is if Forstag were to win this, if he were to catch up in this remaining vote, it's really testing that sort of left wing in the Democratic Party that we've seen have success in districts, very blue districts, districts that are not like this. And they've always made the case. They said, hey, there's a populist element to this that can resonate in, working class areas, even if they're friendly to Donald Trump. Nominating a candidate like Forstag in a district like this would test that. I have no idea how that would go, but it would test it.
He's I think, smoke jumper, right? Firefighter in the state of Montana, got some attention, kind of went viral for that.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.